Train the muscles, not the joints. So welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about something that is really important for you to know, okay, in your training program. Everything in your life, including your workouts, is about relationship. Right? It's about relationship with the exercise, relationship with the muscle, relationship with the mind and how it connects to the muscle and the contraction, relationship with yourself, as far as you're not second guessing yourself, you're not looking at your own experience and saying it's insignificant because somebody else is saying that their idea is more important than your relationship with your body, right? So this is a really interesting concept because a lot of people, they start training, they start lifting weights, but what they do is they discard the relationship with the body in the process. And somehow they think by discarding the relationship that their awareness of the body is going to increase. So that's kind of like ignoring your girlfriend or boyfriend and then thinking that somehow you know what they're saying, right? I mean, if you're ignoring them, how can you know what they're saying, what they're feeling? How can you get to know them if you're never listening to them? So this is why this channel is a lot about just paying attention to what's happening, paying attention to what's here and finding out the truth for yourself. Because there are a lot of posts that are all over Facebook or whatever about, you know, this food's bad, that food's bad. People come up with a whole bunch of ideas why there are certain things that are bad. But really what's wrong with this picture is that it's not always the food that is bad. It might be your relationship with the food. It might be for some reason your immune system is fighting that food. Perhaps you have some sort of mental, emotional, or physical trauma around having that food in your system, and then your body is reacting. But that doesn't necessarily mean that food is wrong for everyone just because it's wrong for you at this time, right? So as a case in point, when I was getting ready for the Natural Olympia, I got food poisoning from some bad chicken from a restaurant and rice. And what happened is it pretty much destroyed my bodybuilding progress because I ended up getting food poisoning. I lost 12 pounds in 2 days, and then within a week, just from constantly crapping and throwing up, within a week I basically had flattened out and then started to retain water because I had the flu by the time that I got on stage. So from that day forth, when I had rice and chicken or salsa, what would happen is I would retain water, whereas before that I didn't. So to say that rice and chicken is bad because of that experience would be incorrect because it's my relationship with it because of the trauma, right? Another thing is that your body reacts in funny ways. Like if you have certain foods in your stomach at the same time as you have a car accident or some sort of traumatic event that happens to you, that can also cause your immune system to misinterpret that food as some sort of enemy, right? I've seen this before where some people have reactions based on some sort of trauma that happens, okay? So it's important for people to let go of this idea of what's right and wrong and focus more on correcting the relationship with the body in that moment and listening to it and seeing what it needs, okay? So a lot of you don't have that connection, that's fine. But only through listening will this connection and this relationship deepen, and that's what's important. In another way, you could call this increasing your receptivity. You're increasing your receptivity to what is happening before you in your workouts, what was happening before you in your training and your diet, and what is happening in your experience of all of that. And it's almost like you become just part of this little microcosm or little world. You know, you're in this little ecosystem where you're paying attention instead of listening to too much static externally, right? And as you listen, the body will start to speak to you. And I'm not talking about literally, I'm not talking about like, hey, Jason, I want you to eat chicken today. You know, it's not like that, but it's more about you'll get a vibe, you'll get a special feeling. It's almost like your intuition for the body goes up, so you naturally will know more what's right for you or not. This was very puzzling for me in the beginning stages of bodybuilding because I would see these different athletes and they would say, oh no, I feel like this, or I feel like that, or my intuition tells me this, and they would be very elite in their sport. I'm wondering, how is this so? How is their intuition increased here? They learned how to interpret what the body needs based on a certain amount of information through stimulus, through sensation, okay? The body's always giving you a sensation, and those sensations, although you might not know what they mean, they do have meaning. They are actually speaking to you. It is a subtle language. The body is always speaking to you in a subtle language, and once you learn to interpret the one word at a time of that language, then it's easier for you to find out what is right for you in any one moment. That's why sometimes you'll see me eat a certain way and then I start to change my eating another way, and you know, vice versa. So I'm basically watching and feeling what's happening in my body, and sometimes it's through symptoms. Sometimes, you know, the heat in the body's going up. You notice that you have more blood, more redness and stuff, and you think, okay, maybe I have too much heat in the body. Now it's time to lower down the red meat and increase more of the carbs, because the carbs are like cooling in the body. And it's a whole other, it's an Ayurvedic type practice anyway to incorporate. But the bottom line is that when you bring balance to the body will feel more okay with putting on muscle, because it's not creating imbalance, right? If you have imbalance, then it's going to be very hard for you to get it to the next level. So it's the same thing as the weak link principle. Once you address the weak link, then the whole can become stronger. So I hope this helps you out with your training, and thanks a lot for tuning in, and share my stuff. That's right, click that, there's a little button down there. You look down there, there's a little button. There should be a little button down there. I don't know, phone or not, or maybe it's over here. Okay, button, share stuff, yeah. All right, take care for now.